All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Outer Nexus. Today, we are going to check out what kind of weird thing Boeing just came out with. It's called the F-47. Um, could be 47 for Trump, could be maybe a reference to 1947. Let's see what Pete Hegseth has to say. Let's
Now, just a little background before we hit
Mhm.
play here. Who is Pete Hegseth?
Oh, Pete Hegseth is the new Secretary of Defense. Um, so he's right at the head of the DoD. And he's a Trump appointee who's going along with the Trump agenda of reforming our military and making sure America is first and we are the dominant power on the planet. And I believe today we just stepped back up to that plate. So let's check this shit out.
Well, Mr. President, this is a big day. This is a big day for our warfighters. This is a big day for our country, a big day in the world. The name of this program is the Next Generation of Air Dominance. And Mr. President, because of your leadership, your clarity, America is going to have generations in the future of air dominance because of this sixth generation fighter. We've had the F-15, we have had the F-16, the F-18, the F-22, the F-35. Now we have the F-47, which sends a very direct, clear message to our allies that we're not going anywhere, and to our enemies that we will be able to project power around the globe unimpeded for generations to come. Mr. President, this is a gift to my kids and your kids, to my grandkids and your grandkids. This is a historic investment in the American military, in the American industrial base, in American industry that will help revive the warrior ethos inside our military, which we're doing, rebuild our military, which the previous administration did not do, by the way, Mr. President. They paused this program and were prepared to potentially scrap it. We know this is cheaper, longer range, and more stealthy. President Trump said we're reviving it and we're doing it. And then we are also going to reestablish deterrence. Under the previous administration, we looked like fools. Not anymore. President Trump has reestablished American leadership. The F-47 is part of it. And Mr. President, thank you for having the courage to do it. And
So before they keep elaborating on stuff, I just think that it's very interesting how they're speaking about this craft. Hold on, let me pull up what it actually looks like a high quality picture of it. So, hang on. So this is just an artist rendering of it as well. This is the official picture from the Air Force, and it's only an artist rendering. And Trump actually says, he elaborates, he wasn't sure how they were going to show it, because he wasn't sure if they were going to show the back of it or the bottom of it or the whole thing and how they were going to show it. And he commented on the mist and the fog because the one he has up there has the same thing. And every picture that you see with this has this mist and fog covering the back of the plane. And if we even go further, just show you just examples of these. If you just type in F-47 fighter jet, all of these designs are different. Some of them are really different. Some of them look kind of the same. Like these two kind of look the same, but these have this one has intakes on the sides.
Now,
so
to ask you here, if we type in F-47 to get these pictures, which one of these are official pictures?
Well, that's the thing. So okay, that is a good question. So this is AP News. This one, I know these two are they consider these a quote unquote official, but they're all different. Okay, so these ones, come on. So that's Flight Global. So this is that's their official one. Oh, come on. Now I can't even see it. Anyway, so this one I know for a fact, these three in the front are the images that they have been sending all throughout the internet of allegedly what this thing looks like. But the fact of the matter is all three of these images are different. They're not the same craft.
Yeah.
So this machine is so classified. And number one, this I'm assuming that this is in general what it might look like a kind of a triangle shape, which is basically totally different from previous generations of the F series. And the fact of the matter is they said that this is going to be more stealth based and more long range. So it's probably going to be more similar to like an SR-72 in capability. And that's the other thing with this. They said that they've been testing this for the past 5 years in secret, which makes me wonder how high up has it been to just be evading us? Like how what are the capabilities of this thing? I wonder how what altitude it could reach.
See, I mean that's a good question for this type of vehicle, but
Yeah.
One of my big questions here on something like this is I was very much against the F-35.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to bring up. Well, continue.
No, that's basically my argument.
Okay. Oh, no, great,
yeah.
because this is exactly where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So you heard Pete Hegseth talking about this thing. We never heard anything like that about the F-35. We never heard any. We heard a lot about how cool the helmet was, and obviously the tech and stuff.
Yeah.
But the way that they're describing this is that this is such a historic moment, and this platform will change the face of warfare for the next several generations. And this is going to inspire. Like we never heard this rhetoric around the F-35. It just didn't. That didn't exist.
Yeah. The rhetoric around the F-35 was that it was supposed to
replace
pretty much everything because it was so universally adaptable. It's like it's supposed to replace like the A-10 Warthog, which is one of my favorite planes. Because it has the ability to lay down heavy fire. And it's supposed to replace like smaller stealth aircraft. Because it has the ability to do that as well. And it just the list went on and on where it's like we can retire all these older ones because this can do everything. Now they found out that while it can do a lot and can do a lot well, that it's the jack of all trades, master of none.
Right, exactly.
And they didn't end up retiring everything that they said they were going to retire.
And the thing about the F-35, like it's obvious because the F-35 went into a weird place because obviously this is more stealth based. Obviously the direction of warfare, this is almost going to it's going to be more sci-fi-ish where you're much more long range now. Almost operating with spacecraft where you're hitting them from way out there, and that's like what warfare is going to look like now. That's obviously where this is going. And the F-35 wasn't going in that direction. It was more just like a big upgrade to the F-18. Also with the special helmet. I think the helmet was the most important part of the F-35, in my opinion.
And the big thing I didn't like about, again, the F-35, going back to its decision to be, our weapon of the future.
Right.
Was at the time, it was between two different things. It was either going to be the F-35 or it was going to be, we kind of go over into drone warfare.
Right.
That was the budget decision that they were trying to make at the time. And they went with the F-35 because it was something they were familiar with. They know what a fighter aircraft is.
And speaking, still continuing with that thread, speaking about drone warfare, that's what they did with this. So, basically, it looks like all of the stuff that we know, it just is, I wouldn't say vanilla upgrades, but it's just tech that we're all expecting it to have at this point. It's gonna be capable of managing drone fleets. It'll have AI. It's got the special surface on it that is better for radar stealth. And direct energy systems. What's interesting is they let us know that it has quantum encrypted communications and multi-domain sensor fusion. I don't really know what that means, but quantum encrypted communications, I'd like to understand more what that means. Does that mean they have like a quantum computer on board?
I don't think it means there's a quantum computer. I think it just means that it's encrypted against.
I guess it's receiving the encryption from quantum computers.
I don't think that's what it is, because if it's receiving, it would get blocked.
It's quantum encrypted, though.
Yeah, it's quantum encrypted, but that could just be, you can put something that's encrypted that way, I believe, on just a normal computer. It's just, it's not going to run, as well. Because you have to, we're not designing everything for a quantum computer in a quantum computer all the time. So I'm saying, I think that's all that means. It's a quantum encryption right now is a better encryption for, what we're.
Oh yeah, it's a higher level of encryption.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, it's going to have more focus on commanding a drone fleet, and I'm assuming that it could probably operate autonomously. It's probably also like one big drone, maybe. I don't know.
It might be. It's technology we have, so it may be
there's no reason for it not to be able to do that. But yeah, this is going to be a much more stealth. Like, people on Twitter are posting pictures of, fighter jets doing tricks at stunt shows and shit like that. I don't think this thing's going to be doing that. In fact, I don't think we are ever going to see what this thing actually looks like. And just to put my tinfoil hat on here, is so we're going into wildly speculative territory here, but I'll say this, that Trump made it pretty clear that there was some heavy competition between Lockheed and Boeing to getting this contract. And the unusual thing about this, especially considering Boeing's current reputation of not making high quality products, it's bizarre that the contract was given to Boeing, considering that most of the F series was built by Lockheed, aside from the F-18. So it's just unusual for it to be this sudden shift to a different manufacturer, unless there was something happening behind the scenes surrounding all of this. And I think what that was the fact that David Grusch was just recently made a senior advisor to Eric Burlison for his task force. And if anybody's not familiar, David Grusch was the intelligence officer that basically ran the UAP program, and he testified before. He didn't run the UAP program. He was involved in it in a certain way. And he testified before Congress, I think June 2023, about how there are defense contractors who are basically downing UFO craft and reverse engineering them. And this concept goes way back. This concept goes back to Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You could see Lockheed crates in Close Encounters, at these secret facilities. And that's what Grusch claims, is that in these secret facilities, they're reverse engineering UFOs and making this kind of technology. And it's just really interesting that he is made the senior advisor the day that Trump announces the sixth NGAD, which he cannot show the back of at all, and for good reason. And like I said, I don't think we'll ever really fully see the entire craft ever. I think it's good. I think it's just going to remain classified. But the fact of the matter is, it's good that we know that it exists, because China was going to try to show theirs off. China was going to try to pass theirs off, but we need to show our dominance. But I do think that this is related. I think that, behind the scenes, there was essentially this really heavy competition with Lockheed, because allegedly Lockheed did not want to give up this technology. And supposedly there were factions inside that did want to give up this technology. I kind of predicted that Trump was gonna, roll out a TR-3B and have it floating behind him in an aircraft hangar. Now, that didn't happen. He's not in Area 51. He just has a picture of it, but I think that's good enough. I think that's. I'm satisfied. I'm fully satisfied.
Right.
I'm happy with it. Yeah. It's like my birthday right now. Yeah.
Right. I mean, so the thing with this is, I think it's. I'm not going to say it's a good step forward.
Okay.
And the reason being is we don't know everything that the what is it, F-47?
The F-47
is capable of quite yet. I'm still, and the reason I'm so speculative on this one, is because of the F-35. I am.
Well, yeah. Listen, I totally agree, and this could just be another shit show.
Yeah,
it totally could be. But from all the things that I'm seeing about this, and just the way that they're talking about it, just the big deal that they're making about this, because this is like all over the place. People talk in that way, like this is going to change everything. Like, I think this is the UFO program rollout. I think this is, and in fact, I actually think this is the tangibility of disclosure right here. We may never actually get UFO disclosure, but we'll get shit like this, which okay, I'll take that. I don't need UFO disclosure if we're going to actually start using this shit. Sure.
Well, you see, and in my opinion, we're not, like, you follow it more than I do.
Yeah.
And
I also kind of follow the, how these things have evolved over the years. I was gonna do a thing on like how this came to be from the 1930s, but continue.
Yeah, but so like one of the things for me is like, this is a continuation from the F-35. No, and I know you don't like that.
Well, it's stealth. I mean, it's just purely not though. Like,
no, it is a stealth. I'm just saying
it's like not the same category.
No, it's not the same category of vehicle. I'm just saying, like, we got another fighter jet. Yes, it probably has.
It's not a fighter jet. I mean,
it's stealth.
Like, it's a stealth jet. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's different.
It is. It is different. But I'm saying, like, what I was more expecting is like a change in the way these operate. So in fact, like, I
think that's what they're saying, is that this might actually have a certain type of propulsion that we can't know about. That's what they're saying. It might have anti-gravity.
And it might. And let me tell you, if it does, then I am on board.
That's the big deal. But they're implying anti-gravity here. I'll just come out and say it.
Okay. And that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's a UFO. They can't show it. They can show you the front of it, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, and like, one of the things I'm hoping for, and I think you'll like this part, is like, I was either hoping for like a drone swarm.
That I think that'll be included.
And then the other thing that I was kind of hoping to see is like, and I hate to say it, but like, what was that movie? The one with the black hole.
Interstellar. Okay.
So I was kind of hoping for, like, in Interstellar, they went from like a little beyond where we're at right now. That's where the movie starts.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And then they kind of roll, like, when he comes back from the mission.
Yeah.
It's like he comes back and he looks out his hospital window.
Yeah.
And you just see the big curve of the like Halo station, basically, that they're on. And it's like, I was kind of hoping to see, not that, obviously that takes time, but like, again, like a more discerning ability to be like, that's next generation, like we've just moved on to
okay, so to me this is totally that, because of the way that they're presenting it, literally because of the level of obscuration they have to, like, it's two factors. It's the amount of praise and the amount of obscuration around it. Like, that is just that's what you're saying. That's it for me. Okay, this is the real deal to me. Unless it's total bullshit and it just fucking craps out like the F-35, which is totally possible. But it's just the way that they're talking about it and how they're showing it off. It's just, and then David Grusch is made senior advisor. It's just, and that fucking Boeing somehow beat out Lockheed here. Somehow Boeing beat out Lockheed here for some reason. It just really feels like they are rolling. This is part of the UFO program that they're rolling out publicly, and this may be part of this might be the entry point to disclosure here.
And I'm not saying it couldn't be. But I don't know this gentleman, Hegseth, very well. But when I watched when you just played it, because by the way, that was the first time I saw this. It seemed like one of those.
No, he's not normally like that.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't a sales pitch.
It sounded way in that sales pitch.
He doesn't normally sound like that. That's why I pointed out, because it's really unusual how he's talking about it, because he's normally very serious and to the point. He's not. He doesn't offer praises like that willy nilly. He's not. I've never seen him talk like that, but I mean, maybe he does. I don't know. I haven't watched him a whole lot, but every time I've watched him, he's very serious and very to the point and. Maybe not all that concise, but that's very different. And how he normally talks. But do you have anything else to add?
Not much. I mean, like I said, I think this is we'll see how this turns out. I do. You said we may not ever see it.
I don't think we're ever going to see the full thing. But, or know how it's actually shaped.
But I do think at some point we will see
other future generations using this technology in a cleaner way, because that's the other part of this. If this technology is the thing that I'm talking about, number one, we're definitely never going to actually see it. And the next generation is going to be the iteration that cleans up the Manhattan Project leftovers that need to be cleaned up and regulated, and then we'll get like a nice clean spaceship, and that's my sci-fi prediction.
So I mean, I think we'll see on this one, and I think that's where a good spot to leave this one on.
All right, guys, see you next time.